what are we going to talk about today? A beautiful topic. Which is that topic? The topic is tarot. This topic has not been dealt with, this divination science has not been dealt with in depth as it deserves in India, especially. The world over, people love it and people have been working on it, writing books on it in depth, and it is a very, very well established science abroad. So let's start making this change. Today, I take you on to a journey explaining what is tarot. I also take you on to let you know how it can be worked on. But before that, let me tell you that tarot operates on here and now. What does that mean? The rishis of the yesteryears knew it, what here and now means. That is to be ever present. Every answer to the universe has, every question that we pose to the universe finds its answer in the here and now. And that is what the rishis were all about. They would be so meditative, they would be so much present in the present moment that they knew the answers to the past, the present, and the future. So tarot works in that very format. When we concentrate on the here and now, when we are very much focused on a question, we tend to get the answers very accurately. Every now and then, you would see people surprising you with the predictions in tarot. They have phenomenal powers of being present, being totally concentrated on the subject at hand. So if you're very vague or if you're lost somewhere, the tarot cards also answer you in a very vague manner. If you are focused, if the client or the querent present in front of you is focused, then they get the answers accurately, if not to their heart desires, but then definitely in accurate manner. So let's move on to what does tarot consist of? Tarot consists of a pack of 78 cards, not just mere cards. They're divided into two genera. They're called the major arcana and the minor arcana. The major arcana consists of 22 cards, starting from Fool, which is numbered 0, and then you have the card 21 numbered, the World. The entire thing, the entire story about the major arcana and the minor arcana as it comes is very beautiful. The major arcana is a set of cards which are very much set in stone. So when you have a number of major arcana cards coming up for you, let me tell you, these events are spellbinding. These events are bound to happen for you. So you have to take them, good, bad, or the ugly. You cannot, by any chance, miss out on what is happening. When the minor arcana, you do have a chance of modulation. It does give you certain element of free will. But what does the minor arcana consist of? The minor arcana consists of 4 suits. What are these suits about? These suits are the elemental suits. What are these elemental suits? Again, these elemental suits are the earth, water, air, and fire. Now, how does that work? These very 4 suits are represented by 4 different categories. The earth is represented by pentacles. The water is represented by cups. The fire, in turn, is represented by wands. And you have swords representing the earth. These elements, which we know as elements, have imparted in their characteristics to all these 4 suits. We can explain that, work on that in detail as we go down the series. But for now, let us take a look at the first card. Which is the first card? The first card of the entire series of these 78 cards is the Fool. Now don't laugh. It's not a laughing matter to get this card out. Well, to come to think of it, it is laughing matter because you can laugh your head out, you can laugh your heart out of joy. When this card comes calling, knocking at your door in a reading, know that you have new beginnings, happy beginnings to begin with. Know that there is an enormous amount of journey waiting ahead for you, and know for sure that you're protected, you are guided. Nothing will stop you from moving ahead. Let me describe this card for you in detail. Have a look at this card right behind me, and you can have a good look at this card, because this card has so much to tell you about. This card is primarily a, a traveler walking with a bag, a very small bag behind his back. So what does this traveler do? This traveler is carrying a small bag right on his stick, and he's moving ahead heedlessly. In fact, he's standing at a precise, if you can see that, and he's still moving ahead looking upward. The sun is behind him, so that would mean that he's moving in the west direction with the sun behind him. I would take it as glories achieved, and then moving on ahead to unknown directions, unknown path. I would also take those mountains right behind him, snow-capped mountains that he has left behind, as heights achieved, has as ambitions fulfilled, and also a purity of the soul that it has worked on. Again, this man is wearing a white vest, carrying a white rose. What does that depict? The fool is innocent. The fool is living every moment of his life in all his innocence. He's wearing a very colorful vest over it. So what does this imply? It implies that this fool is very vibrant in nature. However, if I have to combine this vest and that inner vest, I would say that he hasn't lost his innocence, even though he has a very colorful nature. And then he is carrying a sack. Just a sack? A traveler who is walking into unknown destinations? Well, this sack contains a lot of seeds. The seeds that he has to sow along his path. The seed, as in the Aries, it is the very nature of the entire universe. The entire, as above, so below. So the seed contains everything that the traveler needs. As what he sows is what he will reap, and he knows that. So in turn, he is the maker of his own destiny. This man knows that for a fact. What about the stick that he is carrying? Well, the stick has many, many uses. The one such purpose is that he can actually defend himself. The stick is a great form of ammunition. He can defend himself in a fight. He can defend himself from robberies, from animals, any which ways. It is also used as a support. This support is that if he's tired, he can lean on the stick, he can walk with the help of the stick, giving him an added support in his way up. This can also be used to carry his baggage. So there are multiple uses. And now look at his stockings. His stockings are yellow in color. Yellow is the color of emotions. He's moving where his emotions drive him. So this is where he would like to travel. That is the direction he would like to travel. There's a feather in his cap. Notice this feather beautifully. This feather is his connection to the higher powers. He is not alone, and that is depicted by the dog also. He is very much connected, very much protected. This dog that you see is his guardian. It makes him aware of any danger ahead. It makes him aware of food. It makes him feel comfortable and secure. There's a precise that you see. He is just not bothered because he knows that he will be heeded in the right time and at the right direction. So much for this young man. When this young man appears for you in a card, know that he's a traveler. He could be somebody coming in and moving out of your life. He could be somebody who is working on a new project. He could be somebody who has achieved a lot in life and yet is willing to travel the path of the unknown once again. A very beautiful card for a lot of beginnings. A very beautiful card for somebody who wants to start afresh. But if this card comes in reverse, be very sure that this can be a very reckless man, a person who does not take heed no matter what, a person who is likely to leave things without a cause, a person not willing to take responsibility, rather a person who's on the run. Much more coming ahead for all of us in this series. Do stay tuned and stay blessed. Till then, bye.